I'm Tom, and it has been confirmed we now have two of the top 10 pound-for-pound stars facing off against each other. Two of the faces of boxing fighting each other in what is going to be basically the search for greatness. I've got Crawford at number 3 in my top 10. I've got Canelo at number 8 in my top 10. They're both stars of the sport, both faces of the sport. Crawford jumping up 2 weight divisions to fight Canelo Alvarez at the 168 for undisputed. This is a legacy fight. This is a great fight. This is fantastic for the sport of boxing. Just when I'm saying American boxing needs something big, they go and give us this. This is huge. Now, initially, before the William Skull performance on the weekend that Canelo put in, I'd have had it 70-30 in Canelo's favour. At best, 60-40 in Canelo's favour. This is now a much more 50-50 fight. I still think it leans towards Canelo. I think you've got to favour him. But I've been saying for a long while, Canelo is on the slip. And that's why he won't fight Benavidez. That's why he's ducking Benavidez. Because the bottom line is, Canelo knows. Canelo's done the training camps. Canelo's hitting the pads. He knows. He's in those fights. He knows he's not the guy he once was. Now, it's not me saying he's not good. He is still fantastic. Two things can be true at once. Canelo can be 70% of who he used to be, which I think he is, but still be absolutely fantastic, which I think he is. I just don't think he had it in him to beat Benavidez. And I think he knew that, which is why he didn't fight Benavidez. Now that we're starting to see that, because he's not able to cut off the ring the way he once was, he's not able to beat the fighters that he once was, we're seeing him stepping against a Crawford who is a fantastic fighter as well, but is jumping up 2 weight divisions. Crawford, who would trouble most of, if not all of, the 168 guys, is going to be stepping in there against Canelo. The thing is, he's giving up a lot of weight there. And now, part of me thinks too much, a lot of me thinks it's too much weight. But as we saw with Eubank Ben on the weekend, before last weekend, it's not impossible. You know what I mean? Ben didn't get the win, but Ben's also not Crawford. At the same time, Eubanks. Apologies, people. I got a phone call, my phone overheated, and then had to go to work, right? As I was saying, Eubank is no Canelo, and Ben is no Crawford. So that's a thing, right? And my big worry about this fight is father time, right? Father time waits for nobody. We've seen that time and time again. Crawford's got to be, 40? Canelo's not far off, 38. They're both old. So father time waits for no one. However, I actually think father time will be affecting Canelo more than it will be affecting Crawford. Hear me out. And it is swings and roundabouts because Canelo's far more active. Canelo's been fighting 2 fights a year for years. He's so active. Crawford's not. Crawford's got ring rust. He's not always in there, not always about. That sort of ring rust, that not being 100%, that when are you fighting, concerns me, right? But I actually think, as I say, the father time will be affecting Canelo more than Crawford. And the simple reason for that is the fights they've been in. The fights that Crawford has been in hasn't taken anywhere near as much out of him, in my opinion. Well, not in my opinion. Go and watch Crawford's biggest fights. You know, it's not taken that much out of him. Whereas you go and watch Canelo's biggest fights, Canelo's having to leave everything on the table. Canelo's having to leave everything in the ring. And that's why he started to take easier fights sort of down the pecking order more now than previously, to reserve that. But also because he's had to leave stuff in previous fights. And we're starting to see it get to the point now where he still can't get the job done, as convincingly as he has done, as spectacularly as he has done. So I think, whereas you look at Crawford, the Madrimov fight wasn't easy, but other than that, and that's not as a comparable as the Bivol fight, the Floyd fight, these fights that Canelo's been in, where he's leaving everything on the table. It's just, in my opinion, it's not really the same. That's not too comparable. And that's why I actually think father time, although Canelo is younger than Crawford, father time will have caught up with Canelo more than Crawford. Just plain and simply because he's been in more hardened battles, been in harder fights than Crawford has. And that's what takes it out of you. Fighters always say, the fight night isn't even the hard bit, it's the camp. The sparring, the relentless sparring you do, that leaves damage on you. And he's been in those camps far more than Crawford has. He's been in those fights far more than Crawford has. He's sparred those rounds far more than Crawford has. And that's why I think it would have caught up to Crawford, not or less than it would have caught up to Canelo. That's not to say that Crawford is going to win, but I think that adds to the fact as to why it's now more 50-50 than previously. Because Father Time waits for no one, and Father Time would have caught up with Canelo more than Crawford. And I still think we're going to see a spectacular fight. Crawford's phenomenal. Crawford's so good. Canelo's fantastic. Again, we got, in my opinion, 2 top 10 pound for pound guys. Number 8 versus number 4. And number 8, although he's... No, number 8 versus number 3, sorry. And number 8, whilst isn't as high, in my opinion, as Crawford is, he's got the size on his side. You know what I mean? So it's number 8 versus number 4, but number 8 is so much bigger than number 4. Or 3. I keep saying 4. Do you know what I'm trying to say? That's my thoughts on everything, people. You let me know your thoughts on this whole fight in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you leave a like, a comment, subscribe. As always, people, you know how this stuff works. Peace.